Hi, first graders. I am back with Number Corner. I was here with you on April 6th, and a lot of time has gone by. And today we're going to try to catch up. And I also have some things that I didn't have the last time, like my cards. So you know how you see these cards in class, and I have also the shape that that I have cut out that matches the shape in the picture. Okay. And last time I said if you imagine it, you can fold it. But today we're going to actually fold it. Okay. So it's going to be fun. Okay. So let me show you the calendar grid that goes with this. Let's look at the names of the shapes and see if I wrote them down correctly. Okay. So for April 1st, we have a square, right? And then on April 2nd, we have I heard the word triangle. So square, triangles, and you know squares have four sides. So this is a quadrilateral, but quadrilateral is any shape that has four sides. And then we have a triangle. As you can see, the difference between these two shapes is that the square has four sides and the triangle has three sides. Then we have this shape. It has, let's see how many sides it has. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Do you know the name of the shape that has 5 sides? Did I hear the word pentagon? Yes, the word is pentagon. And then we have a rhombus, right? So rhombus is another quadrilateral. It also has 4 sides like the square. And then we have this shape that's the letter E, right? And then we have this shape that is how many sides? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Do you know the name of the shape that has 6 sides? A hexagon. But you know that the hexagons that you are used to are those yellow pattern block hexagons, right? And that's not that shape. But guess what? That's all right. Let me see if I can. It is still a 6-sided shape and it is still a hexagon. So let's pause here, and I'm going to see if we start with our square, this shape, and if I take a piece of paper that is exactly the shape that is being shown. Okay, that's the marker for number 1. And we were checking to see if you can actually fold it into equal parts. We wanted to see if it's symmetrical or not. And symmetrical, we call a shape symmetrical if it is the same on both sides. Okay, so let's see if we can fold it in 2 equal parts first. So remember I said you can fold it vertically first, okay? And you can see that both sides are the same. And now I'm going to fold it horizontally. So you could say that each side is 1 out of 4. We could fold it into fourths, okay? This is 1/4, this is another fourth, and then 2 more fourths. It can be folded into quarters. I'm going to try to take my picture off, okay? That way you can see more of the screen. So you could say that for April calendar observation chart, the first shape was square. You could definitely fold it into 2 parts, but you could actually fold it into 4 parts. This is my yes. You can do that picture, and that way we can. We don't have to, whenever we see that check, that means yes, you could do it. So it says 0, you couldn't do it, but that's not true. You would say it's symmetrical, and I want to quickly show you how you would look for that line of symmetry. If you had a square and you wanted to see if it was the same on both sides, and I'm going to take this rubber band and just stretch it, and take this side and stretch it. And now I'm going to duplicate it. And you can see that this one is exactly the same as this one, right? So we're going to say yes, it is symmetrical, and we're excited that it is symmetrical. Now we're on to the triangle. So here it is. And let's check what it's asking us. Can you fold it into exactly two? We have a triangle, and I'm going to get another rubber band, and I'm going to stretch it to see if it can be divided into two halves. And this is the line of symmetry because this is the part that is smack in the middle of it. And I think if I take this other rubber band, you can just scooch it over. Look, it's exactly the same. Just exactly the same. So you would say, now, if you wanted to break it into four parts, could you do that? No, you cannot do that, actually. Cut it in the middle right here. This part would be too small. One part is wider. So you would say, no, you can really fold it into two exact parts, but not four. But would you still say that it is symmetrical? It definitely has a line of symmetry. Now, pentagon, I'm going to actually show you the pentagon here. And let me get my pentagon ready. This shape is a little tricky. I will try to fold it. And I'm seeing that if you do this, it doesn't fold into exactly halves, because if you see on this side, there's a part that sticks out. It overlaps, but then there's another part that's sticking out. It doesn't really match up, right? So you wouldn't say that this is the line of symmetry, because when we fold it, it should be exactly half. So you cannot really break it into halves and quarters. So you will say, sorry, but no. We'll say, yeah, it can actually be broken up into 0 equal parts, okay? And is it symmetrical? Not really, no. Okay. Rhombus. Now the next shape that we're looking at is for number 4. And I have a geo block that matches that. There's your rhombus. And you would say, you can say that a rhombus, is it symmetrical? Yep, there's a line of symmetry. Now we know that it can be folded into 2 parts, right? And I'm going to move this, as you can see that. And then I'm going to get another rubber band and see if it can be folded into 4 equal parts. If this is my rhombus, I'm going to fold it into halves. And you would right now say 1/2, right? And then you can still fold that. And again, just like the square, it is folded into fourths. They're all exactly the same size, all fourths. So it can be folded into quarters. So let's come back to this, and we'll say a rhombus can be actually folded into exactly 4 parts. And yes, we're excited to inform you that it is a shape that is symmetrical. Now the letter E. Should we just try it? So here's my letter E, and I am going to fold it in the middle. And guess what? It sure is exactly the same size on both sides. The problem happens when I try to fold it another time. So we're on E. If I try to fold it another time, guess what happens? One side is too skinny. I know it's kind of hard to show you, but you can see that they just overlap only halfway, and then one side becomes too broad. Okay, so we would say, yeah, you can fold it in half. You can do that. You would say that the letter E was symmetrical just once. If you fold it in half, it was symmetrical. Now, hexagon. If you were just looking at the hexagon that we are used to, you would say, yep, it is symmetrical, because you could draw a line right in the middle, and then you would draw a line right in on the other side. In fact, something like this, and I could get another rubber band, and I can just take this rubber band and show you that actually this is also symmetrical. And this is such a strange shape that no matter how I fold it, some part is going to stick out. It's just not going to work. So I would say no. Nope, 0 ways. You could just do it 0 ways. Nope, not symmetrical at all. Okay, so now you know that our calendar this time around has these shapes, right? This is the part that repeats. Okay, so for number 7, let's see. Do you see the connection between these two shapes? Yep, they're both quadrilateral. So let's quickly catch up. Rectangle. The rectangle is a little bit long and like this, and you could still say that it can be folded in half and it can be folded in quarters. And I have the same shape right here. I'm going to fold it in half, exactly half, and then I'm going to fold it in exactly quarters. And once I can do that, I can say that they are folded in quarters. When I say quarters, there are 4 equal parts. Okay, when I say half, I say 1 part out of 2 parts. Okay, so we will say, yes, rectangle can be folded into 4 equal parts, and yes, it is symmetrical. So I'm thinking, maybe I should give you a job. Maybe I should give you a job to see if you can think of, I'm going to turn all the cards over. Okay, so I gave you rectangle, and you have to see how many sides, how many parts. And I'm going to turn these cards over. Your job is to write the name of the shape. Okay, you have to see if you can fold it into 2 parts. Will it fold into 2 parts or 4 equal parts, or will it not fold? And then you have to say whether it's symmetrical or not symmetrical. Now, some triangles can be symmetrical, but some triangle may not be symmetrical. So just think about whether this one is or not. Okay, and we have for number 9, for number 10, for number 11, for number 12, and for number 13. Now you have these shapes attached to your file, to your homework. Okay, all you're going to do today is to make a prediction. You can print these out. You'll have 4 per shape. So if you make a mistake, you can try again. Maybe your siblings or your parents can try it too. And then all you're going to do is to make a prediction whether it's going to be symmetrical or not. And you're going to try to fold it and see if you can fold it in exactly 2, exactly 4, or you cannot do it. Okay. And then I'm going to reveal, and then you can see if your answers were correct or not. Okay. Have fun with it. All right. I'll see you soon.